friends. This is another episode of the program Empire of Lies, in which we discuss manipulation and disinformation in the Russian media. The Burevestnik as a political message. In the evening edition of the Russian program 60 Minutes on October 27th, official Moscow once again demonstrated its main media mechanism, turning military statements into political signals. It seemed to be about a new weapon, the nuclear-powered Burevestnik cruise missile. In fact, this was not a report on technology, but a manifesto. In it, Russia declares, "We are not simply participating in a war, we are setting the rules of the game." It is important for European readers to understand such statements are not intended to arouse fear or delight in the public. They form an ideological framework within which the Kremlin proposes that the world accept a new norm: war as a form of dialogue, threat as an argument, and technological demonstration as a substitute for political compromise. 1. Weapons as a metaphor for the state. The Burevestnik missile, with unlimited range and invulnerability to missile defense systems, is highlighted. Putin presents it not simply as a model of engineering success, but as a metaphor for the country: autonomous, resilient, and unpredictable. The phrase "weapons of retaliation" is no accident. It's an attempt to regain the status of a power feared not for its economics, but for the inevitability of a response. In Russian media discourse, technology becomes an extension of power, and military development a substitute for political initiative. This isn't about defense, but about restoring the psychological parity lost since the end of the Cold War. Russia has made an unprecedented leap in the global arms race, creating a weapon that is fundamentally changing the balance of power in the world. The Burevestnik is a nuclear-powered cruise missile, the likes of which are unique in the world. Vladimir Putin, in military uniform, announced this during a meeting at the command post of the Joint Group of Forces, attended by the commanders of the groups and the Chief of the General Staff. Gerasimov reported to the Supreme Commander-in-Chief that the new missile has no range limitations, thanks to its nuclear power plant. Our Burevestnik missile performs complex maneuvers at altitudes of 25 to 110 meters, very low, making it virtually invisible and invulnerable to missile defense systems and air defense systems. Its flight speed reaches 1,300 kilometers per hour. American experts are baffled. Retired U.S. Army Major Mike Lyons warned on CBS 2 years ago that if such strategic weapons were deployed in the Arctic, ballistic missiles would no longer be needed to attack Washington. 2. From a postponed summit to an intercepted dialogue. At the same time, the failed Putin-Trump summit in Budapest is being discussed on air. The line is clear. The meeting wasn't cancelled but postponed, and the initiative came from the US. Thus, the Kremlin gains a double advantage. It demonstrates a willingness to engage in dialogue while simultaneously placing responsibility for the failure on Washington. This narrative reinforces an idea that's important to Moscow. Russia is always in favor of negotiations, but only from a position of strength. This allows it to justify any military or economic escalation as a response, not an attack, but the defense of its rights. 3. Sanctions as a ritual of testing. When presenters say that sanctions are painful but surmountable, it's not an admission of vulnerability, but an ideological gesture. Losses are declared the price of sovereignty. In this logic, economic sanctions don't destroy the regime, but rather strengthen its moral capital. We suffer because we stand our ground. Thus, sanctions policy, if not accompanied by systemic economic isolation and clear coordination within the EU and with partners in Asia, becomes a propaganda tool for Moscow. 4. Control over the nuclear issue as a way to rewrite the rules. This isn't just about demonstrating missiles, but also about bringing strategic control back onto the agenda. Russia is hinting, if the West wants a new arms treaty, let them recognize Burevestnik. But including this system in the negotiations automatically legitimizes its existence. And consequently, what the Kremlin is seeking, recognition as an equal player in the new nuclear architecture. Essentially, this is a diplomatic provocation to force a discussion of weapons instead of a discussion of war. You've been on the Empire of Lies program. See you soon.